All right. It says I'm live. So, welcome. Live from the crossroads of America. That's what the big sign says when you drive into the state of Indiana, if anybody's interested why I use it. Talk show about guns, politics, or anything else that crosses my mind. Answer questions from the audience. Either put them in the chat or email me at rickslife@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. I have a Patreon page, and I also have a one-time payment by PayPal if you wish to do it that way. I just thought I'd throw that out there. I think that's about it, really. Let me see who's in the chat this morning, or this afternoon, I should say. First in, Mystic Guns, then G-Webs, Southpaw RX, John Brown Productions, Roll Call, Raphael, Kingpin. So that's in it. Some people are starting to roll in, which is good. And on my panel here, I got Blind Shooter for a short period before he has to jump out. How you doing, Blind Shooter?
Same shit, different day in the epicenter of the planned pandemic.
All right, then we got the one and only Kingpin.
Hey, Rick. How's it going? Thanks for having me.
No problem. I don't know who else is going to show up, but I'm hoping. I don't know if Patriot's going to be able to, because with the kids being out of school, he's doing a lot of babysitting duties. So and of course we had New York Outcast here, but connection problems as always. Oh, unknown user says I'm here. I'm just hiding from Mystic Guns because she's mean. Okay. As my title to the show said, I read an article this morning that the people who filed in 2018 are the first ones to get their checks, and they're meant to hit your bank account if you got direct deposit this Wednesday, the 15th. I think this Wednesday's the 15th, isn't it? Yes. So your $1,200 stimulus check should hit your bank account on Wednesday. Then after that, it's, that's what they're saying. Now, if you're one of those ones who want a paper check because you don't want the government to know your bullshit, you're going to be waiting months because paper checks are going to be done last. Even me, who's on Social Security, will get mine before you do. I know it's not right, but that's the way it is. If you want to think that if you want to believe that Big Brother doesn't know where you're at and who you are and what you got, I'm afraid you're sadly mistaken in today's world. So, just saying. So, who's sending me stuff? I don't know who's sending me stuff. Oh, my cousin.
You've got mail.
She's one of my cousins. The guy she lives with. Would you call him? I mean, they're in their 60s. So, is it a boyfriend at that age? Anyway, I'll just say he's very well off. He sold his business and he's got a couple of million sitting in the bank, as far as I know. They're buying a yacht. And he keeps sending me pictures of it. Like I'm really interested. But so there we go. Sorry, I went off topic there. So I have decided, we had a chat on Wednesday. Oh, my other topic I could touch on real quick, we can get back to it in a little while, was I noticed that, what was it, Friday, the Virginia governor, blackface, what's his name, signed in those gun bills into law. From what I understand, they take effect on July 1st. So all the screaming, the 20,000 people in the street, the gun laws are still getting passed.
I believe the correct way to pronounce his name is Coon Man. And his mother named him Ralph, but his college buddies named him Coon Man.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, but that's what's happening. And on that same note, is they all gonna flip Texas this November. Texas is gonna go blue. It's already purple anyway. So, and from what I've been reading and researching, the Democrats only got to take 20 seats, and they're, New York. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Do you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right.
Yeah.
I just jumped over to the PC.
I think your camera's on.
Oh, all righty.
I could be wrong, but it looks. I mean, I'm not seeing you, but I'm seeing something moving in the background of your thing there. So there you go.
All right. Yeah, I think that was just my arm. So.
Okay. All right. Good that you finally made it. You gave up.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on with the whole phone thing, so I didn't want to miss out on the whole thing like last week. So.
All right. So I was just talking about Virginia, where the governor signed in all these bills into law. They take effect July 1st. And what I was saying, it's a shame. I mean, we can do all this screaming and yelling and everything else. It still gets done. The laws still get passed. Hopefully, that's another thing I was going to say. Hopefully, somebody will challenge them in court. So that's what they need. Now, there is a lot of, people are suing the governor and attorney general of Massachusetts. I think they're doing it in Florida. California. They're doing it in a few different places. They're suing, there's people who are restricting Second Amendment rights in these states during this pandemic, which is fine. But since most courts are closed, it's going to be done after the fact. And the way I look at it is, right? So it goes to court, the pandemic's over, the governor or the president says, right, we're back open for business. Here we go. And then all these people got filed suit against them. They're going, okay, you're right, we're wrong. But they already got what they wanted. They closed you down for the entire pandemic, So maybe I think I need Patriot in here because maybe I'm going too negative.
Well, actually, you're 100% right because I get that everyone's pissed off at their local governor for closing down and infringing on the Second Amendment. But once everything does get back open, there's no point in keeping the lawsuit going because you regained what you lost.
Yeah, and he won. Unfortunately, unless you want to take it and win for it never happens again.
Yeah, I would think that would be the wise move. A lot of people probably see this as a hindsight action. So with a lawsuit in place, even after the fact, it seems like it would be a smart move in case this does continue to be a repeat on a yearly event now or something, along those lines.
Yes. That's what I'm thinking. It'd be great to have it on the books in case this ever happens again, and so I can see that. I can see that point of it. But what might happen is what they tried to do with that New York case in the Supreme Court. The country opens back up for business. They're going to say, it's mute now. Because we're all back to normal.
Yeah, I can see it definitely them pushing that, saying, it has no relevance now at this time or whatever. But obviously it did and could again. So therefore, I would think a decent attorney should get past that fact of it.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, I would imagine you're right. That's what It's a what was I looking for?
I think it's a shame. I don't see why now, out of all times, people are wasting time and money trying to restrict people's rights to follow an agenda. Obviously, thinking at it, I guess, trying to think at it as an unbiased way, if I can. I don't know if I truly can, but it would seem now would be the time that people should focus on personal security when things are kind of overwhelmed back up and people are in panic. You would think people would want their family members safe. So it's to me, it's almost like a mental sickness that you wouldn't. So I don't know.
I agree with you, but now I was talking about this on Wednesday night. I mean, I've only been in the guns coming up to 5 years. That's it. Okay, I mean, I lived most of my life. I lived 30 odd years in Europe, but I've lived here almost as long. Oh, I've been here. Let's see, when did I move back to the States? Was it 1995 is when I moved back here. Up until 5 years ago, I knew, I knew the Second Amendment was there and everything else. And if you wanted guns, I believe that was your right to have them. At the time, I didn't want them. So I wasn't. I've never voted against the Second Amendment thing, and I've never voted for somebody who was either.
Can I ask what your thinking was, Rick?
Back then?
Yeah, the fact that you didn't want any. I assume you probably it never crossed your mind. You never felt the need, never had a draw to it, an interest.
It never crossed my mind. I never felt the need because I was under the impression, it wasn't until I got into guns I realized how wrong I was, that you pick up the phone and dial 991 and all your problems are over. But as it turns out, I think even the Supreme Court has said it, the police force and the government does not have to protect you. So
okay. So you think that was the fact that really hit it for you, hearing that the police don't have to protect you?
Well, no. I mean, what got me into guns was me becoming disabled. Because I felt how vulnerable I'd become, that I could be attacked walking in and out of Walmart. That's what got me into it.
All right.
But before that, I thought, well, there's no need. We have a police force. You just call them up and they take care of the bad guys and everything else. I never dreamt that, I could be, somebody could bust in my door and do a home invasion or something like that, or never crossed my mind that somebody might, like if even I walked into a bank and never thought of me that somebody might come in with a gun and rob the place. I was living in a false world that I thought was safe. And it isn't.
Well, that just shows you now, too. It's like, you have those of us that are ready, willing, and able to protect what we have and own. And then you have those that are just relying on the government during a pandemic saying, oh, it's fine. If something happens, the National Guard or my local police officer will just come and save my precious little ass, which we all know isn't going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, also because some police forces are telling them, well, like for somebody breaks into your car, they're not going to respond and this kind of stuff, So who's going to who's going to take? Okay, yes. I mean, as it depends where you're at and what state you're at, because you're going to shoot somebody over them breaking into your car, which is just a piece of. It's not a life. You're not protecting a life. You're protecting a vehicle.
All in all, this is, I mean, the reason that you don't think about when you walk into the bank, somebody, running in there with a gun and a mask on, robbing the place, is because it's probably not going to happen. And I get it. Banks get robbed all the time. But the likelihood of you being in a bank when it gets robbed is really, really rare. We do live in an extremely safe time. This is the safest, most prosperous time in all of human history combined. Absolutely combined. The violent crime rate, even with them fudging the numbers, the violent crime rate and the murder statistics in the United States is going down steadily. Then you have Baltimore City, which ruins it for the whole planet. Chicago, which ruins it for the whole planet. Just those two cities make the entire planet that much more dangerous. But that doesn't disregard the right to be ready. They always say, well, why do you need 100 rounds? Do you really need 100 rounds? Well, I don't know. I'd hate to find out if I needed 100 and only had 99. So
Yeah.
but that's why a lot of it's a hard thing to get. That they use those stats to manipulate people, because they tell you you don't need a gun because this is the safest time. Your city is relatively safe. And look at the statistics at how safe your city is, and then at the same time they tell you you need the government to be there for you because it's so dangerous outside.
Yeah.
I think
I agree. Things in the chat here. Let me read these real quick. Unknown user said, I have been robbed at gunpoint once and had to use my gun to save a life 3 times and sent 3 bad guys to jail. Wow. Maybe I need to get you on the show one day to talk about it. Then Muscle Dog goes, corporate burglary is up. Once the looters run out of stores to loot, they will be looking at homes next. I agree with you. I believe that is going to happen too.
It already has happened.
I think it depends on your area a bit. In my area, it is not uncommon for homes to be busted into on the regular. Or example, I've seen myself on TV like at least twice at the same gas station where I'd left, and then they were looking for people to identify a suspect that basically came in right after me. Now, in most of those situations, living in New York, I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to stop a gas station robbery for $150. If there's the guy's, going to take a life, something like that, I may step in. But in my state, if life doesn't, if there isn't a loss of life, I'm going to jail. That's pretty simple.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say earlier.
If there's a bank robbery, I'm going to hope the guy drops something on the way out that nobody noticed. But besides that, I'm just keeping my head down, honestly.
Yeah.
Bank money's insured. And usually if somebody's hitting a bank, they're not the average criminal, unless it's some drunk guy screaming with a ski mask or something, So,
yeah.
But I would say in certain areas, I think crime is on an uptake. I know here I've heard, I've had friends tell me in certain areas they were concerned, asking questions about getting a gun and stuff, because they've seen a lot of strange vehicles driving around the neighborhoods where there's seasonal homes. Basically, people are already kind of scoping things out. Or nothing like that.
I should be back on YouTube now. It started again. Hopefully. Am I back on out there in the chat, guys?
I'm looking.
I got the notification.
It says it says I'm back.
Yep.
Yeah. Muscle Dog says I'm back. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I wouldn't put it past my internet. I got lousy internet here. I really have. So,
they don't want us talking about the crime in New York.
Yeah, it's like I was saying. What they're doing now is like they're targeting those of us that are going out running, because they know we typically carry small sums of change, or bank card or credit card. So a good friend of mine, he was out running the other night, and someone came up behind him and started asking for the time. Guy gave him the correct time, and then the person kept following behind him saying, hey, let me ask you a question. And he got the gut feeling that, something isn't right. This guy doesn't seem from the neighborhood. And sure enough, he actually started getting chased all the way through the streets of New York City.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, when they run out of stores to loot, then they're going to start hitting houses. Or, I mean, what worries me, are they going to start with houses in the city, or are they going to come out here in the country first, where there's less chance of them being caught?
If they're smart, they'll go out to the country because that's where all the rich people are.
I don't know. I think it depends on the level things get to. I think initially, basically, I think it would just be chaos and people just running around taking advantage of things, crimes, opportunity in the streets. I don't think many of these people are geared up to make a lifespan of this or something. They're just taking advantage of being able to get away with something at this time is what it usually seems like when it comes to that stuff. Now, for some reason it's the end of days or something. Yeah, obviously when the supplies run out in a city, people are going to spread out. But I would think, the sad part is there's a lot of idiots everywhere nowadays. So I think you'll see more of it spreading to further places as soon as major cities actually have an effect. I think people are going to look at that as an excuse or their cue. And, all the idiots will come out of the woodwork at that time, in my opinion.
Well, hopefully that, we'll get back to the country will get back to work. We're not going to have to worry about that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for. But if anybody missed it at the beginning, I said I read a report or something that if you filed in 2018 and had a direct deposit, your check should hit your bank on Wednesday the 15th, which is this coming week. Then if you're one, as I said, if you're one of these that want a paper check because you don't want Big Brother to know who you are and where you live and your bank details, it could be a couple of months before you get yours. Because they'll do everybody else first who can do it electronically.
I've already gotten a notice, basically that a deposit's pending on my lady's account. Actually, she got a notice, I should state. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would assume some people may already have one. I can't remember the date she stated that it would be released, but I believe she told me yesterday that she did have a credit there. So she did her taxes kind of early. So I don't know if it has something to do with that or not, but just so people are aware.
Yeah, because from the report I read is they actually notified, because it's all done electronically, that the financial institutions were notified that the money's there and it's going to be released on April 15th, which is Wednesday, the earliest, unless your bank gives it to you early.
I'd recommend people, take care of any of their major outstanding bills or stash that money away. I know a lot of people are talking about buying guns and stuff, but at this time, we hope everything kicks off without an issue, but I think it's smarter to play things safe than sorry.
I would say take the money out of the bank because if the grid goes down, that $1,200 isn't going to eject shit.
Yeah, you got a point there too. But you're right. I mean, you need to pay, get things up to date if you can, or pay whatever you can. What makes me say that is I'm going back to my what the hell do you call it? My satellite. I paid it on a Friday, and I knew it was due. It was due the day before on a Thursday, but I paid it on a Friday when I got paid. And of course, it didn't register until Monday. But where I'm going with this is it was either last Saturday or Sunday when I turned my TV on and clicked on the, for the satellite, it said, bill overdue, but we're going to let you keep running. something to do with because of the COVID-19. So I'm saying these companies still want their money. Now, that's the first time I ever seen that on there on the TV when I switched it on. I thought, God damn, I was only a day late, your mother.
That's business, man.
Oh yeah.
And I feel a lot of people are setting them. This is hurting a lot of people, but it's other people are benefiting quite highly. And honestly, I would never trust a bank or anything when it comes down to your family's well-being. I highly recommend people make their payments.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree too. I mean, yeah, I've been talking about buying a gun and all that kind of stuff, but I know I'm gonna pay whatever I got to pay. Hopefully, keep them from the door. If there's any left over, then I might buy a gun. You know what I'm saying? If there's any money left over, I might look at.
Yeah.
But I'm talking Wednesday.
It's always good to have money for a rainy day. That's I know after it was either 60 or 90 days, the stores are expected to raise their prices. So people are going to need to account for that as well. The White House released a letter to the major manufacturers asking them not to raise their prices within 60 to 90 days. So I would definitely expect to see a hike in prices at some point coming soon. Also, there was word out that the major meat manufacturers or distributors are going to be shutting down now due to contamination and issues. So the cost of meat, is going to go up. You're going to need this money, in my opinion. So
I understand what you're saying, but what I totally agree with you, right? I'm 63 years old now. I've been told to save money for a rainy day, and I still haven't managed to do it yet.
Yeah, you still got money coming in. If this check comes and the government's shut down for another month, you're going to wish that 3 weeks from now, you're going to wish you still had some of that $1,200.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you. I'm going to, yeah, you're right. I mean, as I said, I'm going to pay off what I can with it. And if there's anything left over, should I save it for a rainy day, or in case this goes on for another month? Maybe I should. But knowing me, money burns a hole in my pocket. It really does. I'm terrible. I really am bad. I'm good at spending, terrible at saving.
Yeah, so am I.
Do you need an allowance, Rick?
Do what?
Do you need an allowance? Do we got to get together and take care of your bills and only dish out a little bit at a time?
Yes, that's what I need.
Mad money for ammo and stuff.
Yep.
Try to help you out.
Yeah, that's what I need.
I thought that's what getting married was for.
Yeah, yeah. But I haven't been married for a long, long time. So.
Yeah,
right, guys, I'm jumping off. Take care.
To separate your funds, put your extra away, and try to forget you have it. Sometimes
that's
you do.
The hard part. Honestly, I do. Honestly, I do. Even when my little Social Security disability check gets posted every month, right? I have X amount taken right out of there, put into a saving account every month, right? But by the second or third week of the month, I've drawn it back out and put it back over in my checking account because by then I spent all my money and I need it. I told you I'm terrible. I really am. But where I was going with this, on Wednesday I was saying, what can I buy? I was going to buy a rifle, but I was talking yesterday in the chat. I decided I'm not. If things turn out good and the economy gets going, they release everything and life gets back to some sort of normality. I don't think it'd ever be the same again, but some sort of thing. And, things are good and we don't need to save this money because it's going to drag on for another month or two. What I was thinking of doing was buying. I thought instead of buying a firearm, I'm going to buy reloading supplies. Get the dyes I need. get extra gunpowder and all that kind of stuff with my money. Then if there was anything left over at all, I chose the gun. I chose the firearm I'm going to buy, and it's not a rifle. I'm going to buy a Uberti 1875 Army Outlaw revolver and 45 Colt.
Nice.
You know, so that's what I'm going to get, where I can play cowboy. That's my plan. You know. But I said, if it drags on, I'm going to pay bills with my money. I know I've got to finish paying, as we discussed the other day. I owe my cousin who bought the blinds for this place. I keep want to pay her back, but she keeps refusing it. She's the one who's got the very rich boyfriend, you know. So I keep trying to pay her back, and she says, no, hold on to it. You might need it. You know. So I'm going to try to get her to take it because I don't want to be holding. You know what I'm saying? What happens what I'm afraid of, what happens if because she's not married, you know, and her and him break up, then she might get mad at me because I owe her money and I never gave it to her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
take the money or free you of your debt completely. No more you hold on to it. You might need it, that you don't owe it to me anymore, or here's your money.
Yeah. So, that's the kind of stuff I'm more likely to do with it. Then whatever I got left, I'm going to buy reloading supplies. And I said that handgun, if there's any left, I might get it. But reloading supplies is what I'm going for. Because, right now, where I'm going with this is I've only got dies for 45 ACP and 380. But I got brass to load 38 special, and I want to start load because I got a 38 special revolver, and I want to. What was the other one I want? And I want to load 9mm because I got a 9mm. I got my my Beretta in there, so I want to start reloading those too.
Well, reloading equipment, I think, is always, it's a good investment in a sense if you're really interested, because it's something that could get you by, save you money, pass time, and it's a good skill. I would state if you don't have a firearm and you're getting this check and you do live in a sketchy area, if you can swing it, it might be a good idea to purchase something. If you already have one, obviously, then, that could be a different thing. But, it's always, you don't have to go out and buy a $500 handgun or something like that. Something for your house isn't a bad idea. Doesn't matter what, So.
Yeah, you're right. When it comes, yes, we can all like to have more firearms, but it's not that I've got more than two. You know what I'm saying? I can only shoot one in each hand. You know what I'm saying? At a time, and I got more than enough for that. So, not that I wouldn't like it. Hey Tony. Oh, what you call it? Vanessa. Hey Vanessa. Vanessa reckons this is going to go through to the fall. Oh, I think the actual virus is going to be here for a while, but I honestly believe that the country will start, the economy, people will start going back to work, places will start opening up again. I really do. Because this country cannot afford to stay closed like this into the fall. Because when we do finally reopen, we will be a third world country. China and Russia will be way ahead of us.
I don't think they have a choice. They're going to have to reopen at some point. People will go stir crazy, and especially bills adding up, time passing on. They're going to have to open at some point. I think it may be at a reduced level, and I assume there's going to be masks involved and things like that. But it couldn't stay like this forever. That's for sure.
That's right. And these companies, like the electric company and all this, they say they're not going to cut your power and all this kind of stuff. But they can only carry So, some people so far before they start needing their money because they got debts to pay as well. You know what I'm saying? Because more than likely the electric company has borrowed money from some bank somewhere to improve their system over, you know what I'm saying? It's all one big, just giant ball. You just can't stop it, and expect it to stay the same. Kingpin says, open the country, but the Corona Chan is going to kill us all. Hey, it might. It might. At my age, I guess for the youngsters, it'd be kind of tough. Hey, you all got to go sometime. Can't stay around forever.
Ain't not a one of us getting out of this fucking thing alive.
I know.
There's a lot of reports, different things. It seems that it would be, in my opinion, uneducated opinion, it would be smarter to keep things running, at least at probably, 75% capacity, and, keep up the social distancing, mask. Obviously, people might still get a dose of this or that, but it's going to be a lot lighter. There's been a lot of reports that healthier people have been known to have a bad time with this. Apparently, your immune system reacts kind of overdrive on it, and it's created issues. I know my friend's mother was transferred from another county to mine, put into a local hospital here. She was diagnosed with it. She had pretty poor health, and it's about 70 years old, overweight, dialysis, basically the perfect candidate for a bad ending. And miraculously, she made it out with just oxygen treatments. There was other stuff, but she never got put on a respirator. And she's expected to be released, if not today, then I assume tomorrow. So
yeah, that's good.
Yeah, quite shocked to hear that. And then you hear about people that are 35 dying in 2 days. So I mean, it's
oh yeah,
weird things, I don't know.
Even my boy Boris Johnson from the Prime Minister of England, Great Britain. I mean, he's back in the regular ward now. He never had to go. He took oxygen, but he didn't have to go on a ventilator. Now they say he's on the other side of it now, recovering. So,
How long
Patrick says this country needs to get back to work by Monday. Remember, people have been out of work for 2 months now. It ain't been 2 months, has it?
Depending on the area.
Started here.
The what?
The lockdown started here 15th of March.
Yeah.
We're early.
Yeah, so I mean, it's only been going for about a month, really. I don't think it's been going for 2 months.
Yeah, it's going to last through April. That's a long time. How long? Here's a question: how long do you think we can function as a society, staying 6 feet apart from each other? There's no possible way that we can move on with life, social distancing, and be a functioning society.
Yeah. Hey, Tony, you're quiet. What's your input?
What? Everybody's going to get this at some point. Otherwise, we ain't ever going to be done with it. Without herd immunity, we have to stay isolated for fucking ever.
Yeah, and the country, the economy, which is this country survives on the economy. This economy cannot survive being shut down like this until they find a vaccine or until they approve it. I mean, they've got one, they're testing it, but you know how long this government takes to test anything. This country can't afford to stay closed that long.
Yeah, I think waiting on a vaccine is a bad idea anyway.
Yeah, I do too.
Don't have much trust in a rushed vaccine on a virus that's already altered a few times. So
here's a good thing for you. Did you guys read about that Russian plane that that was intercepted out there, above in the ocean above, on the out, Alaska. Even during the pandemic, right? Those our enemies do not give up. If our plane did not spot it and intercept it, Russia would have tried to fly as far as they could over the United States. They more likely wouldn't have dropped the bomb or anything, but they were more like taking pictures and all that kind of shit to see what's going on.
All they got to do is get a Facebook account. They can see what the fuck's going on.
China's not going to stop moving forward. If the United States decides to stay on lockdown just making up a number, the rest of 2020, China will offer everything that we offer every other country, because they're going to say, hey, look, the World Health, we got certificates from the World Health Organization that say every one of our soldiers is immune from the Corona Chan. We can come, and you can kick the U.S. military out, and we'll come in and protect your country. We'll protect your oil fields. We'll protect this and that and the third. China's not going to stop trying to, Miss Dr. Evil take over the world. So the longer the United States shuts down and the longer China's open and we're not, is extremely bad news for humanity.
Absolutely.
Initially this shutdown thing was meant to not stop the coronavirus. It was meant to ease off the impact on hospitals.
On what?
On hospitals, so everybody didn't get it all at once and go in the hospital.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, and unfortunately, it dragged on a bit longer. A lot of the hospitals, good example. I know even the Epic Center there in New York, the New York governor, we're going to need 140,000 beds. We're going to need 40,000 ventilators, blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying it wasn't bad. It is bad in New York. But they came nowhere near reaching those numbers. And from what I can understand, it's starting to flatten out now. So if it stays the way it is, they're never going to reach those numbers that they were crying. They got a goddamn ship sitting out there in the in New York City Harbor. What's it got, 1,000 beds on it or something? And they got 46 patients. Oh wow, they really needed that. Mr. President, we need help. Send us a boat. And they got 46 people on it, for Christ's sakes.
I think he's going for as much FaceTime as he can get.
Yeah.
The two things that you can guarantee are going to come out of this: Trump overreacted, and the Corona Chan is racist. Watch.
Oh, absolutely.
The whole Corona, the Wuhan Red Chinese Communist death is already being touted out as it's racist. And as soon as this is all over, Trump overreacted. Guaranteed.
Oh, I agree with you too. They already claimed he overreacted for banning China from coming into the country back in March, right?
His mistake was he didn't ban Europe too.
Yeah. He banned Europe, but he left United Kingdom open, which I thought was a bad mistake, even though, I got a kinship for England.
All of that's relevant. All of that's actual facts and studies and opinions are irrelevant. The news media is going to know that people can't remember things for longer than 5 minutes. So as soon as it's over, Joe Scarborough is going to get on and say, just like he did, everybody knew Trump was overreacting. Everybody told Trump he was overreacting and not to do all this. When if you look at the tape that came from your show yesterday, you said he didn't do enough. So the media is going to just wipe this completely clean because it never happened, and then they'll go to the exact opposite of what they're doing now, and people are going to let them get away with it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right. You're right. They are. Also a good example of our media, right? They crucified Kavanaugh, and they're not doing a thing to Biden, and the woman accusing him of assault. Not a thing's being said. You notice that? But when it was the Kavanaugh, he was the scum of the earth.
Most people forgot that. Most people forgot that. That's why Alyssa Milano got, 80,000 retweets or whatever on her stupid thing about, why she didn't come out against Joe, because all those idiots forgot.
Hell
And
yeah.
she said something different today. So now what she said today must be what it is, because what she said yesterday is irrelevant. That's the way people think. And it's not just the crazy lefties. It's the vast majority of people in the country. There's a vast majority of the people in this country are good people with decent hearts and want to have better than what they have now. Not that they don't appreciate what they have now, but most of them have short memories because they're distracted by other things.
I
Yeah.
think deep down, a lot of people want to believe the news is honest too.
I mean, has the news always been deceitful?
Yes. Period. That's it. End of the discussion. Move on to the next topic. Don't argue any other way, because if you do, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, actually, when you think about it, it was. I mean, even I would say there was some truth to it. Even that movie way back when with Robin Williams, Good Morning Vietnam, where what was actually happened was actually changed when they read out the news reports of what's happening in Vietnam to the American people. So I mean, mainstream media has been lying to the American people forever. The only reason that a lot of people talk about it now is because we got the internet. Was the internet the downfall of our country?
That's a double-edged sword. I think with the internet, there's a lot of good information, but there's also a lot of good misinformation. So I think people forget misdirection is a antique tactic on a lot of different things, and you also have people that think they're on to something, but didn't really do all their homework either. I guess the best thing is for people to check, more than a source on something, and don't be so biased. A lot of us tend to want to read into things what we see, and that's not always necessarily the case. So
I'll tell you one thing: if we didn't have the internet currently, people wouldn't be sitting still at home for what's going on.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to type and talk at the same time. I can't do it. So, what was that, Tony?
So if we didn't have the internet, people would not be sitting still for what's going on now.
wouldn't social media
Oh
be
yeah.
like party lines? Everybody calling 800 numbers and hopping in different hot tub pools and stuff like the old days.
Yeah. I mean, how would they have got out? Unless they used. I mean, the only way they could have done it was they did use television as the means to get information out there. About the stay at home, don't go around. I think. Midnight Range. I agree with him to a certain degree here. If nothing was done, and they did reach 100,000 people plus in hospitals, and lots of people died, would that make everyone happy? Or is it better than not as many died? Why be upset we slowed it down? No, I'm not upset. I just think it's over. I personally think, don't get me wrong. Maybe because I'm looking, how can I put this? Maybe I'm not taking it seriously enough because nobody I personally know yet has been affected by this in any way, except the only way they've been affected by this is inconvenience.
The thing about social distancing is there's no evidence that it worked. And you can say that there is, and I can give you evidence that it doesn't. We're not going to know whether social distancing worked until this is all cleared up and people start studying what happened, and the actual small little minuscule detailed facts about this thing. So right now we're taking under consideration that social distancing and closing down our country has worked to slow the curve or whatever they keep saying. We don't know that worked. If you look at California closed their borders down or whatever they did to their stay home order 2 days before New York City. And New York and California have vastly different numbers. So you'd have to assume that 2 days worth of lockdown changed those numbers. And you can't do that. We're not going to be able to know until it gets studied out later by impartial people. There's going to be some dude sitting in his basement, that just figured out the theory of relativity and looking for something else to do. So he's going to start cracking down all the stats.
I think it's pretty clear that, when it comes to somebody being sick or something like the sickness or the flu or something, I mean, obviously if you're close socializing, sharing drinks, things like that, you're going to get sick from it. So, I mean, I think it's pretty, easy to say that, social distancing would help. How much would it be enough? Who knows? But, that's, just limiting the, maximum exposure, I guess. So, not saying it would be the solution to all our problems, but obviously if you're sneezing, eyes dripping and stuff, goo everywhere out of you, and I'm shaking your hand and hanging out and borrowing your shirt, I'm probably going to get sick. It's just common sense, or whatever the case may be. Or if we, take a long car ride together and the whole time you're contagiously sick, I'm probably going to get sick. Little common courtesy, I think. And even when people are sick prior to this, you're not supposed to go to work. I mean, you try to not have a sleepover so one of the kids are sick or something. There's just some common sense into this that I think goes a long way too. So I just beg to differ a little bit on the social distancing. And I also, businesses are working now with people at spaces and distances and stuff like that. And be honest, prior to this, I kind of wish in some cases people were spread out a little more, because I can't tell you how many times I've almost gagged by, somebody in a line that just smells horrible. Like they just, have been crapping on themselves all day. And it's just, sometimes I'd rather have a little space if I could, but not stating it should be the new normal. So
I'll tell you the thing that I've seen suggested that disturbs me more than anything else, and that's that they're talking about mandatory testing of everybody for these antibodies, which leads to those who don't have these antibodies present are going to remain quarantined. Well, how are
they going to test 340 million people?
And with what test that's actually accurate, that they don't have false positive with, and isn't going to be harmful for the person to take a test. Now, I don't know for sure, but from what I hear, they shove a Q-tip pretty far down your throat. So I know that's not a major problem with some people, but I'm sure there is some people that have illnesses that probably wouldn't be the best way of going about it. So, and a lot of issues with the test not being 100% either.
This isn't that test. This is just a blood test to test if you have the antibodies.
Okay. See, I was told the blood test only tells you if you have a coronavirus, not exactly what strand of the virus. Now, I don't know. That's what I mean. So I probably shouldn't speak, but I don't trust they have everything together yet, to be honest, from all that.
It all comes down to, so you got 340 million blood tests that you got to take, then do your thing on it to get the results. I mean, that's going to take goddamn years.
This is another perfect example of the fact that we're being played. This is all junk. Now, everybody, take it easy. I'm not saying that people aren't getting sick. I'm not saying the virus isn't real, blah, 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 all that other kind of nonsense for people who don't listen. We're being played. They told us just a few short weeks ago that voter ID was impossible. It's impossible to have voter ID because black and brown people can't figure out how to get to the DMV, which is absolutely insulting to black and brown people because everyone I've ever known in my life had an ID. You got to do everything else you need an ID with, but not. And then they're gonna test and give you a vaccine ID to every single person in the country. Not to mention what happened to those 20 million illegals that they can't find. There's no way to find 20 million illegals. You can't possibly do it. So there's two reasons right there to be curious. Ask a few questions when you hear this kind of stuff. Don't just jump right in line and say, okay, but that's the way we're going to go. Conspiracy, tinfoil, whatever you want to think about. Just be curious for 2 seconds.
Oh, yeah. Then, Ohio 45 ACP, what about the Google Microsoft plan to track everyone and monitor exposures? Oh, yeah. I mean, I can't see how they can do what they claim they're going to do. You know?
I don't like the idea of anything being mandatory or forced upon somebody.
No. How about that? Talking about that, what about the Michigan governor? Right? She says you cannot go visit your relatives now.
Yeah, I don't know. About that. I can see companies stating if you're going to work in this facility, then you have to be tested. I mean, in some cases, they already do that in animals, which, animals are facilities with animals. TB is a big one, things like that. They can get transferred back and forth. But, I think that should be, your choice at that point. Almost like a nurse now with a flu shot. You can, in most places, still work, but you probably going to have to wear a mask. But again, that's a choice you make. Sometimes what's good for everybody isn't necessarily great for you. So there's a lot of people with different health reasons or religious reasons that would decide not to. And if everybody else is immune, and why should they have to bother? So I don't really understand.
I'm immune because I got hydrochloroquine or whatever. And as much as they saying the media is bashing this shit because Trump has $99 worth of shares in a French company that make it, right? And there's people. Yes, the tests they're running on it have not finished yet, but it looks like it does work. So I've been taking this for 4 years, so I'm immune. Not only that, hey guys, if anybody wants any, as I said, I got about 80 days worth in this bottle here. And just yesterday, where is it? I got another 90-day supply. How I managed to get that unless they were running short and wanted to give it to me to make sure I had it.
They're testing you and you just don't know it.
$10 a pill, guys.
You're the guinea pig.
Everybody wants $10 a pill.
Motherfucker, it was $6 the other day.
Yeah. So.
Goddamn price gouging prick.
I don't trust any of that crap, most of that. So, the FDA in total. If table salt would cure this, they would be up and down saying no because they can't throw a patent on it. I just, a lot of things that are supposed to be for the people tend to be about making a profit, and I have a hard time trusting this. There's a lot of stuff out, information out in other countries that don't have the stuff we have, that are treating people and having good results with things that are fairly affordable and available. And from what I hear, the U.S. won't even entertain the idea. And of course, but don't worry, because we're going to make our own concoction for you that we can patent and sell and make money with. So unfortunately, I think this all falls back to making a buck when it comes to most of these organizations.
Unknown user. Don't offer to give meds to people or sell them, even as a joke. It's a felony, and many people don't have a sense of humor. Yeah, you got a good point there. I didn't think about it that way. I mean, I just think all you guys in here understand my sense of humor, but if there's somebody, those goons at YouTube, go, we got him. We finally got him.
We understand, all right, that you like body cavity searches.
Yeah. I want one of them. Well, I think it was Kingpin mentioned back in the chat. I want one of them 6-foot sex organs. You know? So.
I got to get credit to G-Webs for that one. That was actually G-Webs.
Oh, was it G-Webs? Yeah.
Why the hell would you want to carry around 6 foot of something you ain't fucking using?
Yeah. Just to look good. Anyway, hey, this is getting way off topic in the wrong direction. So, where were we? That's all right. That's all right. So,
you got a question to deal with, a cut of a week?
Oh, yes, the quiz.
Worried about being drunk on a boat, flipped over in a lock or anything for us this week? Or
the quiz from last week. The quiz from last week. I think I had about 5 entries. And my question was, I wanted the name of the most famous maker of the harmonica guns. And the most famous maker, what I could find, was Jonathan Browning, father of John Moses Browning. So there we go. That was the answer I was looking for, and I got 5. I got 5 entries and 5 correct answers. So where's my random picker here?
I really expected the gun guys to know that.
Shoot, I thought it was like an actual harmonica. I didn't know nothing about that first. So.
No, I can't believe this. Unknown user. Damn, I think he must have shares in this random picker I use online. You know?
Something.
Yeah, so you're the winner, unknown user.
For anybody interested in a good way to learn about this firearms history, you can go to the website, Gear Websites. I just put the link in the chat, and buy yourself some Firearms Inventors playing cards. And you'll get all kinds of really great information and a great place to start doing research on your own. So go check that out.
Okay. There you go. All right. Now, the mail-in question for this week is for another swag pack. And I'm gonna let people know where I got it from. I got it off the internet, of course, so I can't guarantee it's correct. But what I want to know is, what is the oldest gun in the world? That's it. What is the oldest gun in the world? Email me at ricklifeasiseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. Get it into me by 12 noon Eastern time next Saturday, and you will be in for the running. So there you go. That is the question.
Is that the oldest existing gun, or are you meaning like the original firearm of the world?
I would, the oldest, to me, it's the oldest that, or the first. To me, it's like I think it was the very first firearm, I believe, or gun.
Okay.
But it's the oldest. There is, I heard of it years ago, even though I didn't pay that much attention to it. But when I was researching this, I came up with it. I go, I remember reading that when I was a kid. So, and I can let you all know now it's not a Glock. So, so just type it in the internet and see what you come up with. I even found a web page that listed the top 10 oldest guns, and this gun was number 1 in that list too. So, well, there we go.
2 internet sites that agreed on something. I wouldn't trust that.
Yeah.
Should be easy to find then if people are looking. So Somebody's got to win besides unknown user, because it's getting a little ridiculous here.
I know. It is. I tell you what, he wins so much. I have envelopes pre-printed already with his mailing address on them. You know.
Oh man.
Oh, my cut of the week this week. Since we got to that, I don't remember. I don't think I talked about this, but if I have, I'm doing it again. Is sirloin tip roast, right? Or actually, even if you buy a sirloin tip roast, you can slice it at home into steaks and throw them on the grill. They're not bad, you know. I mean, it's a cut off the hind quarter. It's actually how would you explain? If it was your leg hanging there, it would be the front of your leg, the top half between your kneecap and your thigh. That piece right there. That on a cow, that is the sirloin tip. You know, and so I mean, it's a tender piece of meat. I mean, it's not going to be tender as a fillet, but is it tender? I mean, even if you marinated it and threw it on the grill, it's absolutely great. And a sirloin tip is a dry roast. But what's good about it, you can use it as a pot roast too. See, if you buy a better cut, if you buy a cut for, a dry roast, you can always downgrade them to a pot roast. But if you buy a pot roast, you can't upgrade them to a dry roast because they'll be as tough as boot leather. So just all through it. But I say if you take the sirloin and slice it into whatever. Oh, I mean, I believe even meat shops sell it as steaks. It depends, what part of the country you're in. Some do, some don't. But you can always ask them to tell them that you wanted sirloin tip steaks, and they should be able to do it for you. Another thing we used to use them for. Now, we used to use them to. You can make sandwich, thin sliced sandwich steaks out of it. And that works pretty good too for the quick throw it in the pan, flip it over, boom, boom, it's done. So the sirloin tip piece of meat is a very versatile piece of meat. I guess one thing, you can use it for kebabs, cut it into chunks. It's tender enough for that. I said it's a very versatile piece of meat. So, personally, myself, I would marinate my steaks because I like that. I like a bit of flavor on mine. Normally, what I do if I'm going to marinate a steak, if I don't have anything else to marinate it with, I'll marinate it in Italian dressing because the acid in the Italian dressing breaks up the fat parts in the steak that makes it more tender. By the way, just in case you wanted to know.
So, do you have any tips on preparing a neighbor to be eaten by a house cat?
Do what?
Do you have any tips on preparing a neighbor to be eaten by a house cat?
No, but at some point he's going to have a video of it.
Oh yeah. Oh, I bought a new for my cats. One of them cat trees. It's about mine. I bought one. It's about 5 foot tall. And I got it by the window so they can sit up top there and look out as the world goes by. And I got it there by the window, built it all for them. They haven't even goddamn sniffed the damn thing.
Throw a little catnip up there. How much did you pay for it?
Oh, I bought it from Chewy.com.
So too much, huh?
I mean, it cost me $50.
Okay.
It was on sale.
Yeah, I ended up looking into those, and I just built one. I think it cost me $5, and it's
Yeah,
about
it cost $50 from Chewy. And I think the real price was $75, and they had it on sale for $50.
No.
Now, do you like to climb telephone poles? Do you like to climb telephone poles, Rick?
No.
What do you think them cats are looking at when they're looking at that and them badasses?
Oh, this one, it even has a ramp on the front so they can walk up to the first level. It has scratching posts. It has a base, 4 scratching posts, then another base with a ramp leading up to it, and it's got a little house up there so they can go inside. Then it's got another big old scratching pole with another board on top. Then on top of the house, it's got another scratching pole that goes to another platform at the very top they can lay on.
Yeah, those are made for regular kitties, not them great big monstrosities you got.
You could throw some some cat treats up there or something like that. And,
I was thinking of that before I came online here. I thought I'll grab a handful and put them on it and see if I can entice them to use it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're big cats, as Tony says. They're old, but they ain't the smartest cat on the block. You know, sometimes, I mean, like when I put treats on the ground, they sit there and look at me, and I literally have to pick them up and point them in the direction where they're at. You know.
What if you take one of your pant legs and like one of your old shoes and put it around the pole, so then that way the cat will scratch that, since it's used to scratching on your real leg. Maybe it'll think
it is. Talking about that, I had to go to I thought they would cancel it, but my foot doctor, Patricia, how you pronounce the word, told me to come on in. They tested my temperature, and they wore masks and everything else, and they were doing my feet, and they were checking my feet because of me being diabetic and stuff. And I got a little scratch on one toe, so I wanted them to check it because it's on the bottom of my toe. I can't see it because of my back. I can't get my toe up, my foot up to have a look at it. So that's why I go to a foot doctor. But it's okay. It wasn't. But where I'm going with this is, he saw the scratches on my legs, and he's looking at them. And he said, "What in the hell's that?" I said, "Oh, that's my cats." He goes,
"You need to money by investing in a dental mirror."
The what?
Said you need to save you some money by investing in a dental mirror.
That's not a bad idea. A mirror on a pole. You know?
You've got mail.
A telescopic pole, that would work. You know?
I don't know where I got it from, but I had one at work that was had about 2-inch diameter mirror on it. I would love to find another one of those.
you could just put a mirror on the ground and then sit down and just raise your foot up.
True, I can do that too.
Like not flat on the ground, but like sitting on the ground, leaning up against the wall.
Yeah. But also, I mean, if I hurt my foot and it was really bad, I would do something like that. But I go there. Not only does he check my feet out like that, but while I'm there, I have all my toenails cut too, which is quite nice. You know, sit back and relax, and the young lady comes in and plays with my feet. You know, it's all included in the price. So hell, why not have it done while I'm there? You know, I have to go every 10 weeks to get my feet checked to make sure, because that's the one thing that scares me more than anything in this thing is losing a limb, especially my feet. You know, I don't know why. It just does. It freaks me out.
It used to scare me too, but fuck, I don't use them, so what's the matter?
You know, the real mad Murdoch. You might get in trouble using a mirror on a pole. That's like your mind's going in the gutter there. That's what you're doing. and my mind's going right along with you. So we're changing the subject. You know. Okay, we talked about that. We know that we've done the prize, we've done the quiz, we've done the cut of the week. Talking about my feet and my doctor's appointment,
You can
and
get those mirrors at the auto parts store.
do what?
Those mirrors, you can get them on extendable poles, like probably about the size of a cell phone in length, and reach out to about maybe a foot, 2 foot, or something like that. You can
That's what I need.
there. You go to the auto parts store; they got tons of that stuff. The
Okay.
mirror is not all that big, but I know they got them there.
Yeah. That's what I need. Unfortunately, because of my back, there's a lot I can't do anymore. That's why I'm disabled. You know, even if I was skinny like Tony, my back is so bad I still couldn't bend over.
I was going to say that belly being in the way can't help neither.
No, it doesn't help. But even if I was as skinny as you with my back, I still wouldn't be able to bend over like that.
Well, I can't bite my toenails either, so.
And also, with my right hip, I can't swing. I can't even. You know how you can sit there and cross your legs, I can't even do that because of my right hip so bad. You know, when I'm sitting there at the doctor's, they said, because I'm sitting there, my left foot I got it sitting there and it's straight, going straight up. You know, but my right foot leans out. And she said, put that one straight. I said, I can't because of my hip. I said, if you pull it over and hold it there, it'll stay there. But for me to actually do it, I can't do it. You know? That's how bad I am.
This getting old shit ain't for the weak.
I know it's not. You got to be tough to get old. You know, you really do. So there we go. You guys got anything else you want to talk about? No?
No.
Yeah, everybody click the 3 dots next to somebody's name and see what happens. See if you can go to their channel. All I get now is report and block. So just a little something I noticed they changed in the chat room. The little 3 dots that are next to somebody's name, when you click on them, it usually lets you go to their channel or whatever. Now I just get since I got a wrench in here, I get report, remove, put in timeout, and hide user. Well, good to go. Like I haven't clicked on their icon, nothing happens. So if anybody else is noticing that, that'd be cool if you could let me know.
I get the same thing.
And being my show, I get pin message, report, remove, put user in timeout, hide user on this channel, and remove moderator. That's what I get, and it's my show.
What were you saying, Bob?
Strange.
Yeah.
I was saying I get the same thing where it's just report and block, trying to look at somebody's avatar, which normally does let you check their channel out. So it's not very helpful for us YouTube people anymore. So
Yeah.
So you talked yourself out of a gun? Is that what I was hearing when I came in?
Did I talk myself out of a gun? No. I haven't. It's just I'm going to pay other stuff first. But I told everybody what I'm getting. The Uberti 1875. You know?
We just talked some sensibility into them and told them that meat's going up and store prices might be going up. So you might want to handle your bills and hold on to some of that money.
So considering your thoughts on pills, I got an 1875. I'll sell you for 5,000.
Hey, I tell you what. Keep an eye out in the next couple of weeks for a video of a Uberti 1875 on the Rick Cypher's I See It channel.
I've got high points available for 1,200 cash.
No shit.
Yeah. No, so no, but as I was saying earlier, Tony, if this thing doesn't last very long, and and the economy opens up and people start going back to doing what they're doing, for me, life even though it's been going on, what, 30 days, 45 days, or whatever for some people, my life hasn't changed that much. The only difference in my life is I can't go down to Deb's truck stop to eat lunch or breakfast. But I do go down there and do takeout. Yesterday, I went down there and got, breakfast, bacon, scrambled eggs, home fries, toast, brought it home.
If this lockdown gets lifted before you do anything, hopefully I can come down to your house and I'll let you try all these damn revolvers and see what you like.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But anyway, so if things go according to plan, I'm going to buy reloading supplies, more dyes and powder and, all the, different sizes of the primers and all that good stuff. And then more likely buy that revolver. And that still give me, and I think I still have some money left over. But mainly I want to cover a few things. Like, as I said, I need to finish paying for my my rifle, that little 22 I'm buying off my cousin from a squirrel hunting next year. I still haven't finished paying him for it yet. And I don't have it in my safe either. He won't give it to me until I finish paying for him. Untrustworthy bastard.
Obviously, he's dealt with family before.
I can understand that with guns. It sucks with a family member, but the last thing you want is your name on somebody or something in somebody else's hands.
Yeah. So, so I got to finish doing that. Then I said and as I mentioned before, when I moved here, was it a year and a half ago almost? One of my cousins bought blinds for my windows, and I keep trying to pay her for them. That was the deal, but she keeps telling me, hold on to it, in case you need it, use it for something else. I'm going to do what Kingpin suggested. Say, here's the money for it. If you don't take it, then I don't owe it to you anymore. It's over. You know what I'm saying? Because what I'm afraid of is, I said she's not married to this guy. It's her boyfriend, and he's loaded. If they ever split, I don't want her to get a resentment because I owed her money and never paid it to her. That's what I'm thinking of. So that's the kind of things I more likely do with it before I spend it, and I'll still have enough to buy what I want if I do it the correct way. Plus, don't forget I got another check coming at the end of the month too. So for my normal Social Security. So there we go. I still got money left over, by the way, Tony.
Oh, really?
So I'm getting better.
There's no such thing as extra money.
I think I'm down to about $8.
Yeah, there you go. I've been there. I've been down to just a nickel in my bank account, So, but I always survive.
I get paid Wednesdays, so.
Well, there you go. Oh, John Z's even joined us at the end. So there we go. So
I think reloading supplies, if I get anything, I'll probably get a couple 100 pounds of lead.
Yeah. So, for making your own bullets.
Yeah.
That's something I might look into as well, but I never done it. But back to the reload supply, because if I buy that revolver, then I'm going to have to buy dies for 45 Colt. So it's never ending. It's never ending. And of course, I'm not reloading. I don't know with the price of ammo, I don't think you're really saving reloading unless you're reloading thousands upon thousands of bullets. But I do it because I enjoy doing it.
The stuff like 45 Colt, yeah, you save money because it's so expensive to buy that crap. 44 Magnum, same way.
Okay.
38 Special, no. You may save a little, but you really ain't gonna save no. Same with 9mm.
Yeah.
But it lets you custom tailor stuff, which is why I do it with 9. I make what my gun likes.
Yeah, yeah. All right. I was just saying, John Z's in the chat. He's another one because Blind Shooter had to go, by the way, so that's why he's not here. But John Z's another one that's stuck there in the heartland of New York City, where it's all happening. You know. So
Damn, I thought the mayor said he'd be dead by now.
who's what? John Z?
Yeah, or the governor, one of them guys.
Yeah, but he ain't. He's still with us. So there we go. All right, guys. Anything else you want to talk about?
I was just going to say, John's hard to kill, so New Yorkers don't go down easy.
Yeah, yeah. You know,
Well, he is kind of a short target.
but you know, with this virus and this 6 foot social distancing thing, is it going to change the attitude of your regular New Yorker? You know, because they ain't the friendliest people. They ain't the friendliest people in the country.
They already don't want to get fucking close. So.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't really mind it all that much. In some situations, so I could definitely see it being issues. You know, younger people, high schools, things like that. Obviously, people are going to want to socialize and stuff. But on the day-to-day, walking down the street, most people don't get too close anyway. They're not around my area.
Well, what I was going with is, I mean, I remember nodding at some guy and saying, "Hey, how's it going?" So I think, and this was in New York City, and it was like, "What the fuck do you want?"
Yeah, you'll get that.
As I said, New York aren't going to be in the nice guys, you know.
And it's kind of rude, unfortunately, there was an incident not far from me where a gentleman said hello to a group of girls, and the girls ended up beating the guy up. He was like 7 years old. The daughter got out. The guy's daughter tried to help. They beat her up too. They were both hospitalized because the guy said hi. I mean, some of this stuff is kind of ridiculous. I mean, and it's, when you act like that, you wonder why people feel a way about some people in some areas. Sometimes it doesn't help the cause. So it's not very.
And those girls were more likely related to John Z anyway.
They might have been. I don't know.
Think about how much your admission for a movie is going to be when they can only have a third of the people fit in the movie theater now. A baseball ticket, to your local favorite baseball team. Imagine how much the tickets are going to cost when only a third of the people can go there. A hot dog is $75 at a football stadium now.
Do you think they're going to do that?
Well, no, I'm just saying. Imagine, just think about how you're not going to have social distancing be the way of the world for the rest of our lives. It's not possible.
Yeah, I wouldn't see so. I think as soon as like something gets lifted, the majority of people just run right down to a stadium or whatever and not care. And then if they get sick, they'll try to sue somebody for it. But I think the majority of people don't.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, if they have, say, a baseball game or whatever, and the stadium fills up, and after a week or two, nobody reports they're being sick, the floodgates are open. Everything will be open then.
There ain't a guy on earth that's capable of maintaining social distance while trying to procreate.
Yeah, you're right there too, Tony. So, all right, I'm going to call it quits here. Going to wind this up on this beautiful. Well, I wouldn't say I want. It's quite. The sun was shining earlier, but it's in the 60s here in southern Indiana. We had a couple of beginning of the week. We had, for 2 or 3 days, it was up in the high 80s. I thought summer had finally arrived, but now it's dropped down into the 60s. So, how's your tomato plant doing, Tony?
They're nicely nestled in water bottles now.
Okay.
I spent the day before yesterday several hours cutting water bottles up to cover them with.
There you go. You can only keep them on there for so long, though. Eventually you're going to have to take them off.
They'll stay on there until probably for the next week, I would guess. We're supposed to be down in the 20s.
Damn.
Yeah, I didn't expect that shit. I wouldn't have put them damn plants out this early.
Yeah, see, Maine had about 18 inches of snow the other day. So the cold weather's still out there. So you got any shout outs or plugs, Kingpin?
Yeah, G23 will be live 6 p.m. Eastern tonight, so go check him out. And thanks for having me, man.
No problem. I appreciate you being here. Not the same without you. You know, New York Outcast. Any shout outs or plugs?
No, I just want to say thanks for having me. Sorry about the issues getting in. From now on, I'll probably just do it this way unless the normal phone way works. So I just, if you caught my interview yesterday on Joe Smith's After Dark, I appreciate you sticking around. If you didn't, then you missed out on some free toilet paper, and too bad for you.
All right, Tony, any shout outs or plugs?
Nope.
All right, I appreciate you three being here to make the hour and a half go by. And I want to say thank you to everybody in the chat for showing up. I really do appreciate it. You spending your precious time with me. Hear me ramble on about stuff, how I view life. So I really do appreciate it. Some of you have been here since I started. So it must be either you're like me or you got nothing else to do. Anyway, I'm calling it quits. I will see you all on Wednesday at 7 p.m. with Shooting with Disabilities. If you got any topics you want discussed on that show, us to touch on, send me an email with it and I'll bring it up in the chat. And also, if you got any questions that you want discussed on this show, email me again at rickslife@gmail.com and we can bring them up and talk about them on the show here. But if you have any complaints, you send those to shootingleft-to-center@gmail.com. That's the complaints department. So I'm going to say I will see you all later. So good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you happen to be. And I'll see you all later.